Alright, welcome on back, faithful. It is time for our visor tutorial. I know I promised this a while ago, and I do apologize. Life got a bit lifey for me, but we're here now, and we're going to knock this sucker out. Okay, so if you can see this helmet right here, this is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be cutting down our visor. Now, for those of you who don't know, I typically will buy a motorcycle visor when I'm doing my helmets. You can get into fabrication if you want, bend your own acrylic or bend your own Lexan, or else you can even buy, if you can see this visor here, it's got kind of like a honeycomb pattern on it. You can buy flexible visors on Etsy even, but using a motorcycle visor works just as well, and that's what I've always done, that's what I've always gone with. So this would be my third helmet I've done a visor in, going on to the fourth now. So this one here is going to be this is a gold mirrored visor. There's plenty of different ones online. I believe I've got one linked inside the comment section below this video, so check that out. You can find them on eBay or biking motorsport stores. Okay, so this here is the helmet we're going to be working with today. This is, if you were to take the file inside my info section down there, this is the helmet without having been shrunk. This is, I guess, printed off the file pieces. This would be the original size. The one right here is the one that I scaled down 10%. This is the one that fits me, okay? That one, this one looks like a bobblehead on me. This one here is what you want to do. So if you're going to make a helmet, scale it down 10% first, okay? As it is right now, the visor that I've got is at max size. It fits inside here pretty well, but I'm going to show you how to cut it down anyway. Okay, so initially what you're going to do is you're going to take your visor and you're going to cover it in blue painter's tape. Reason for that is, if you're using a mirrored visor, there's going to be a filament on that visor itself, which is the mirror portion of it. And what this tape does is it keeps the that mirror filament from flaking off when your Dremel is cutting into the visor. So be mindful of that. Cover this sucker in blue tape, or else you're going to have really nasty torn up edges, and that will just continue to keep peeling and peeling and peeling, and it will devastate the look. So cover it in blue painter's tape, front and back. Seal that whole sucker in. Also, thing to note, most visors will have a little lip right here. We're going to cut that off with a Dremel eventually, but depending on how big the helmet, this one right here I could probably leave it on, but depending on how big your helmet is, you may be able to leave it on or cut it off. We're going to be cutting the edges off the visor here, but just bear in mind, depending on what size your helmet is and what size that viewing window is, you may have to cut the bottom and top a little bit. So we're going to show you how to adjust for that. Things you're going to need for this build: you're going to need yourself a Dremel with some cutaway discs. You can buy them at any hardware store, even Walmart sells them. They come in a pack. This one is 36 pieces. It's just a ceramic cutaway disc here. And you'll need the Dremel to work with it. We just got some 150 grit sandpaper here for doing the edge. If you can see already, I've done one edge for you there, so you can see what we're going to be going for look-wise. We're going to be chopping this side off now. Alright, and we won't have any need for Loctite this go around, but this is the 5-second professional grade glue that I love to work with. Instead, when we install it, we're going to be using hot glue. So first things first, take your helmet, get your visor, and you're going to set it into the helmet. Just wedge it up inside there. I'm going to pull this out of your view for just a moment so I can get it set. Okay. Now, if you'll notice on that helmet there, you can see little black marks where I've drawn with Sharpie. Now, that's because I want to know where that window is. Okay, when you get the visor set into the helmet where you're going to want it seated, so there's no holes of light escaping through, you get that visor fully filling in that window, you're going to then hold it and you're going to take your Sharpie and you're going to trace this window on to this helmet. Now, the reason I say use painter's tape, because painter's tape won't let the solvent that's inside a Sharpie marker leak through it and damage your face shield. If you're just using regular old masking tape, it will bleed through that tape and it will mess up your visor. You'll have clear as day black marks on there. So use painter's tape, okay? That's why it's designed. So anyway, you're going to go around the entire outline, as I've already done here. I'm just going to redo it so you can see. Go around the entire thing, marking off where your parameters for that opening is going to be. That way, when you pull it out of there, you'll be able to see I've got that much room to play with, okay? So now you got to think end game here. how much of this visor is going to be making contact with the inside of the helmet. So generally, rule of thumb, I say you want about, let's see here, I've got an inch right there, I've got an inch here, this is coming down to about 2 inches here. I'm going to say you want 3/4 of an inch to an inch of contact with the inside of your helmet. It may be less, it just kind of depends on what works best for you. And as I already said, this is the helmet in its original print size. This has not been shrunk down, so it is humongous on me. For the smaller helmet here, I had to cut the bottom portion of this visor off as well and kind of make it like a little, I guess, folded or slightly curved oval shape. So just bear that in mind. I'm not doing it right now because this thing fits that giant mask, but you're probably going to have to do a little bit of doctoring there as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, I've already darkened it real thick where we're going to go. We're just going to make one pass this way and then one pass that way. Then we're going to come back through with our sandpaper here, and we're just going to hit the edge here. Leave the tape on it. That way when you hit the edge, you're just taking the burrs off that edge there. And you're taking any sharp little pieces that are going to be possibly on there because fiberglass is very, very sharp and it cuts as easily as a razor. So you don't want to slice your fingers on that. Right. Get yourself some protective eyewear because when you're hitting this with a Dremel, if you're going multiple passes, the Dremel will eventually heat this plastic up to the point where it will melt and it will fling into your eyes. I've done it before in my very first build and it sucks. So wear some eye protection. It's going to be a video of do as I say, not as I do. I'm wearing my aviators, but make sure you've got polarized glass or proper set of safety glasses. Okay, it's going to get loud here for a minute, so I'm going to explain what I'm going to do first. This here is a snake Dremel here. This one here is a complete, I guess you call it a full body one. You're not going to get as much control in terms of detail using this one here because it's a little bit tougher to hold on to. So something like this, you can really get inside there and really, really have proper say as to what you're doing with your cutting. So we're going to use this one here. Also, thing to note: these discs, they are pretty fragile. So if you're going multiple passes and you torque it too hard, it'll just shatter. No biggie. Just unscrew the tip, put a new disc on there, go again. But that's also a big reason why you want to wear eye protection because you don't want that piece flying into your eye and ensuring you wear an eye patch from then on. I guess you could do some awesome Solid Snake cosplay from then on out, but I'm going to encourage you not to do that. Alright, so as I already said, we're going to make several passes through here. You don't just want to cut straight through initially because it will heat this thing up way too hard and it's going to explode on you. So we're going to make 1, probably 2, 3 passes. Then we're going to shift down here and do the exact same thing. So you see, I'm going to go all the way to that corner right here, turn it, cut down there. Just like over here. Alright, it's going to get loud. Keep your fingers out of the way too. Okay, first pass is done. I'm going to also mention this time you might want to wear a dust mask or a respirator. This does kick off a little bit of dust. Usually what I do is I hold my breath when I'm making the cuts. But if you're going to be indoors, probably wear a respirator. I am indoors right now. You're probably going to want to do this outside if you can. So back at it. there we are. Now, as you see, like, I got really super lucky there. That cut easy as pie. That's the piece you're going to be taking off about that much with. Oftentimes, it does not go that smoothly. So just be prepared to go maybe 2 to 3 of those little breakaway discs, cutaway discs, because they do break pretty easily. Okay, now, so if you can see here, we've got a little bit of a frayed edge there. We want to take that down. So, like I said, a little piece of 150 grit sandpaper. Leave the tape on there. Kind of pull down into the piece when you do, because it'll take not just that tape off, but the sharp edges as well. Give it a touch. Yeah, there we go. Nice and smooth. I'm totally gonna have to vacuum this room when I'm done. Okay, so I know I said I don't have to cut this tab off, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off anyway. Just so you can see how that goes. We're gonna flip the whole piece upside down. That way you can follow the curve of the piece itself. Be mindful that if you rest that blade right on the edge here, you're going to end up shaving off part of the filament that's on the front of that visor. So we're just going to try and get just past the lip there. So here we go. Flung a little piece of plastic right up my nose. Okay, so got that cut off right there. Probably see it. Hopefully you can see that, what I'm showing you. And we're just going to do a little bit of sandpaper. I'm going to hold that tape right down here so I don't scuff the front of it. But we're just going to take the sharpness out of that front piece there. You don't need a whole lot. And mind you, this won't be being seen. It's going to be actually up against the inside of your helmet, but we'll sand it all the same. Okay. Now, once you're all done with it, I recommend cleaning it all off, getting your area clean as well. And we're just going to peel this tape off here. And we'll see what we're left with. Oh, look at that sexy little helmet. Oh yeah. Another reason I recommend using blue painter's tape is because it's not going to leave behind residue that regular masking tape will leave behind. It's just nature of the beast with masking tape. You really can't avoid it. But with the blue tape, it's designed to not leave residue because it is for painting. And you don't want marks all over areas that you've masked off left behind when you finish painting a wall or a car, or in this case, I did paint the visor with a reflective coating. I don't recommend using the reflective coating. I believe it was called, it was like almost like a spray-on glass tint. I don't recommend it because it's kind of foggy to see through, and it refracts the light back into your eyes. It's cool if you're doing a window like that, but I wouldn't recommend it for a visor. I just recommend buying an actual filamented visor or a mirrored visor that you can find on eBay, or as I said before, you can find them on sporting goods sites. They shouldn't run you too much. I believe this one here, I say too much, they are a little expensive. I've seen visors as high as 60, 70, 80 bucks. This one here, I believe, cost me $27. I think total it was something like $34 with shipping and handling. So just be aware that you're going to spend a little bit of money on it.
But go for a cheaper mirrored lens visor, and make sure you do get a mirror lens visor, because if you get one that doesn't have the mirror, people are going to see right through there, and your face is going to be on display. And part of the cool thing about being a Spartan is the anonymity behind your helmet. I like people not being able to see my eyes until I pull that sucker off and go, whoa, your hair is jet black. Keep a little bit more of this tape off here. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me through this entire build process as well. Again, I do apologize for the length it's taken me to get through some of these videos here. But life being what it is, just happens sometimes. Okay. And now, when you get all the rest of this tape off, you can see any of the edges that maybe need just a little bit more sanding. So now you gotta be just a little bit more dainty with it, not quite as fierce with your sanding. There's a little bit of a rough edge right there, so I'm gonna hit that real quick. Just because when you put this helmet on, you don't want it to slice up your cheeks or your nose. Just be careful that you don't scratch the inside little bowl area of this helmet. Just keep to that edge. Oh man, all the dust. Best way to clean these, get a microfiber cloth, wipe it down. Be careful though, because this dust can scratch the frame, so try and blow off as much as you can, and then just very lightly kind of rub that dust off there. If you do swirling motions, you're going to grind that dust into the screen itself, and you don't want that. Right, so we're going to test fit it now. This video I'm not going to be actually fitting it into the helmet yet, because I still want to put some vinyl on the front here to give it that cool hexagonal pattern. But I'm going to show you how we'll test fit it inside here. And then next video we'll actually be installing this bad boy. And by that time I'll have this whole thing painted up. And we'll get another video actually of how to do some battle scarring. And pull this out of your view for just a moment. And bada bing, bada bang. There we go. I think it's a pretty solid fit there. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. But yeah, that is a gold visor that I bought, and then I mirror coated it. This one here is a gold mirrored visor. You can see the difference there side by side. So go with the one that's already got the mirror coating on it already. Just get it factory done. It's going to be way less of a hassle for you. But yeah, that is how we cut down a visor, and that is how we do our dry fitting for it. We're going to come back through here and we're going to install it next time. I want to thank you guys again so much for checking out this video. Hope it was informative. Hope it's helping you along your Halo cosplay endeavors. Once again, my name is Angel Legend, aka Eric Rolon. Please smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check in soon for the next video. Take care, guys.